everybody, welcome back. So, for this video, before I get into what I'm actually going to be talking about, I just wanted to mention I just heard about the Candidates Tournament being postponed, which is really unfortunate because that determines who gets to play and challenge Magnus Carlsen in the World Chess Championship. And so hopefully the candidates being postponed won't also postpone the World Chess Championship too much, and all if it will work itself out. Really unfortunate that the virus is spreading and causing all of this to happen to the world of chess. Okay, so now on to the actual reason why you're here. So we have a game we're going to be analyzing today. This one was sent in by a player that was about 1300, playing a player that was about 1400, and they're playing as the white pieces. The person sent it in, so let's take a look at it. So e4, c5, Sicilian, knight f3, knight c6, d4, d6. So if I'm playing as white, I don't normally go for bishop e5. I like to go ahead and take, and if takes, then I just say I have a very minor advantage after something like that. You know, with queens being off, it's maybe a little bit more difficult to win, but I still like that slight edge, and so that's what I'd go for. Let's get back to the game though. Oh, actually one more variation to show is the other possibility is queen to a5, which I also still prefer. You know, because black doesn't have to take back. He could get that check first and then pick it up with the queen, but I still like white better, and that was okay. Queen a5, so knight c3, because you have to defend the bishop while blocking the check. C takes d, knight takes d, bishop d7, and knight takes on c6. So what I would probably do is I'd probably just go ahead and castle, due to the fact that you don't actually have to worry about knight takes d4 because you have bishop takes d7 check, and then king takes d7, queen takes d4, and I think that white's looking pretty good. Okay, but let's get back to the game. Okay, bishop takes c6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, bishop d2, so you're lining up potential discoveries against the black queen. I think I would be tempted to just go ahead and castle, just get my king out of the center, but setting up discoveries against your opponent's queen isn't bad either. Queen b6, so black was concerned about that, so just went ahead and got out of the way. And now I like this move. So castling, just ignoring the threat to the b pawn and saying, well, I'm going to get ahead in development, and if you take, it's a very sound sacrifice, which black went ahead and accepted. But really, white looks pretty active after these moves that are played in the game, because notice that almost all of the black pieces haven't moved, except this queen is kind of running around, and that's all that black has going. Meanwhile, white has a lot more development and activity. Knight d5, making use of the discovery, setting up for the next game with queen d8. Black has no development. Knight b4, c5, knight c6, queen c7, knight to a5, more or less forced. c4, rook b7, invading the 7th rank. That doesn't look very pleasant for black. c3, rook b8 check, rook takes, queen takes, king takes. So black is forced to go ahead and develop the king. Queen b7 check, king e6. We have a king running around at the center of a board here, and that's exactly what you want in the middle of the game, right? No. Queen b3 check. And actually right here, there's this long variation where you could actually go ahead and take this pawn right away. You know, when something like this happens, obviously king has to go to d7, because if he goes to f6, he gets checkmated. So king d7, queen b5 check, king d8, knight c6, and something like this could happen. This is all possible variation. You know, something like this, and then, you know, this is just kind of a little thing I was working on. You know, something like that if the bishop takes. Back to the actual game. queen b3 check. Just kind of wanted to show something like that could happen, and you know. But anyways, queen b3 check was actually played in the game. King d7, bishop takes c3. Now, you know, you can go ahead and do it this way. I was showing that crazy variation where like you could take right away, but in either case, white gets back the pawn. Knight f6, queen b7 check, king e6, queen b3, d5. So black wisely opens the center when his king is in the middle of the board. Rook e1 check, king d7, queen b5, b7 check, king d6, and queen b8 check. Okay, so here we see a repetition of moves. But what white should play, instead of repeating these 3 times, at any moment, white can play bishop to e5 check, and that could have ended the repetition, while forcing the king to e6 and setting up potential discoveries. Like that. And then, at any moment, that's what white could have done to win the game, because black will be losing the queen. So instead of repeating, white could have set up that discovery to win the queen. And so white let the higher rated opponent escape with a draw, unfortunately. But white should have been able to win this one. But a very good play with the b pawn sacrifice. The activity that was gained from the loss of the pawn was more than worth it. And it made this black king very uncomfortable for the entire game. And so that was a really nice game, I thought. And also because if you're against a higher rated opponent and you're attacking them, and that can make them feel like, you know, they should be doing better. But in this case, good play by white. Okay, so that's going to do it for this game. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone. It is required by law that anybody making a YouTube video must ask anyone staying to the end to subscribe. So this is the moment at which I am doing that. Thank you.